So for this hoop, we're gonna be using 4 different colors of yarn. And I'm starting with the lightest at the top of this cloud. And I'm using a needle that's thick enough to have the yarn go through the eye, but I should have used a needle that was a little bit sharper. So as you can see, I brought the yarn up through the fabric, and now I'm bringing it back down with my finger holding, I don't know, half an inch of it to keep it at a loop. And then I bring the needle up again to create an anchor stitch and go back down. And I like to do it kind of in between the loop that I made and not going back in any of the previous holes that I made. So after the first loop is done, I'll bring the needle up near the first loop and I'll do the same thing. I like to keep my finger on the previous loops just to make sure it doesn't get tangled up in each other. And then you'll just keep repeating that. You want to keep the loops close together so that it's super fluffy, but it's okay that you see a little bit of the felt because it's going to be so fluffy once it's cut that you're not even going to be able to see the background at all. The video is going to stay in real time for a little bit so you can see me making more loops, but after that it'll fast forward into a time lapse. And while that's happening, basically the top fourth of the cloud is going to be in this color, and then I'll switch to the next colors. look, you can already see it's starting to get fluffy. Okay, so you can see I'm starting the second color now, and it's just a little bit darker shade of the same color. And now I'm starting the third color, another darker shade of gray. And finally, I'm starting the darkest shade, which is black. Okay, so I finished the bottom cloud and I'm starting the top cloud close to it, and I'm just doing the same thing with the darkest shade at the bottom and the lightest shade at the top. As you can see, I made a couple loops of the light color at the top, but ultimately decided that it would be easier to stitch close to the original cloud first. So that's where I started. And now we're getting to the super fun part. We get to cut the loops. So once everything's stitched, all you need to do is just get a pair of scissors and cut all of the loops. And we're gonna speed this up in a sec. And the final step is just to trim the yarn. They're gonna be different lengths, so I just like to even it out and shape, especially around the edges, to make it look like a cloud. Here you can see I trimmed a lot between the clouds and around the edges just to make it smooth and fluffy. I hope you liked this video. Please like and subscribe. Thanks.